Hello, magical beings and beautiful souls. Welcome to this space at Wellness Wave Creations to my YouTube channel. And this is Orshi, your Ayurvedic health counselor, frequency healer, and little nerdy alchemist. And today that I'm recording this for you guys on October the 31st in 2023, my thoughts are on karma. And so, very appropriately, I feel that tonight to tomorrow, as we're going from kind of the Halloween celebrations to the Day of the Dead celebrations in many cultures, as the veil between worlds, they say, is the thinnest. I thought that talking about karma would be just spot on for today. Okay, so if you guys have been following any of my work here on YouTube, then you have seen my video about the three bodies: the physical body, the energetic, emotional, astral body, that we also kind of vision as the auric field around us, as well as the karmic body. I'm not going to go into further details. Once again, I welcome you to check it out. We'll link it here for you so that you've got that angle down a little bit and you envision us as this creation of three bodies to be a human being, the spirit being, the light being that you are, having a human experience, and that we are comprised of these three layers, if you will. Okay, so many people, as you guys know, are afraid of karma. Eventually, there is no good karma or bad karma, I would say, or I would not label karma as bad or good. And then that way, there's just nothing to fear. Really, it is cause and effect. We have an accumulated experience from previous lives, and we bring in a big karmic template with us based on our previous experiences, cause and effect. Okay, so then also we've got karma that we accumulate in our current life, which then eventually is another kind of karma once again, but is based on the same principle of cause and effect. It is just simply that. Now, you guys know that I'm going to look at my notes, especially today when we're talking about karma, just so that I can follow some sort of logic to my thoughts. Okay, so once we have established the subtle anatomy of a human being, of a creation of a human being with the three bodies, then you need to also understand that the causal, or we also call it karma, right? Causal body or karmic body is the subtlest vibration within the creation of a human being. It is the most expansive part of our nature. So it is more like a seed energy, which sprouts the subtle and the physical body as it germinates. So the causal body, or once again, the karmic body, is composed of seed potential for sensory experience, which we also call the tanmatras. Well, these are really your senses. These are really your five senses. So what are your five senses? Would be your hearing, your touching, your smelling, your seeing, and your tasting. And so eventually it's composed of the soul, the sense of separateness through which the physical and the subtle bodies will form. And then this is how we experience it through our five senses. But then further we go when we really understand that consciousness permeates all aspects of our creation. The field of consciousness is especially active in the causal body. My work is really centered around the karmic body, and I do a lot of work with generational trauma, karmic recovery, and inherited diseases. Here we find the karmic template that, what does it do? It records and stores the impressions from our previous lives. So when you meet beautiful people that deal with the Akashic records, that are Akashic records librarians, then you will know that that's the area, that is the body, that is the causal body that they're accessing to read those records that are stored in that field. The karmic template that records or stores these impressions from previous lives affects all aspects of the creation of the emotional and the physical bodies. And so therefore, in plain English, it will include deformities, it'll include looks, how we look, However, it also will include mental tendencies, emotional tendencies, so looks being physical tendencies, as it sets the stage to allow our lessons to unfold. So basically, we're born with and conceived with a set of tendencies that will carry information in it that we've accumulated in previous lives, as much as tendencies that we need to learn and form as our soul growth journey evolution continues, if that makes sense. So when we die, you guys, in the causal body, that follows us from lifetime to lifetime, carrying our karmic records within it. In a sense, the karmic body never really dies, as it really is not alive in the first place. So when once karma has been exhausted, then it releases the person's individual consciousness and it merges back into the ocean of pure consciousness. What is beautiful about this, you guys, is that really every single one of us is offloading information to the field, to the quantum field. I'm sure you guys heard so many people talking now about quantum fields, quantum physics, quantum healing. How so? They'll all connect to this subject matter. So it is through the causal body that we know God. It is through this body that we experience our deepest connection to that which is greater than our separate selves. So what is called soul or spirit or Atman is simply consciousness itself residing within the body. And it is possible to experience this aspect of ourselves, but not from an intellectual perspective. It is not an intellectual process, but rather a deep knowing, which cannot really be put into words. So the causal universe is the universe of supreme consciousness, you guys. So once again, karma is really action. It is just cause and effect. Now, if you have noticed, there are extreme amount of activity currently in our time and space continuum of karma clearing. And eventually in the context of healing diseases and healing inherited diseases and inheriting certain tendencies, then that cause certain diseases that repeat generationally. So also lots of my work is centered around generational trauma clearance in the context of healing physical body ailments or imbalances, if that makes sense. Okay, I think my wig is holding on. How do you guys like the wig? Huh? Yeah, anybody? This is my Marie Antoinette. She's been with me for many, many years. Okay, imagine this, you guys. Once I was driving on the highway in Toronto, driving up north with 130 kilometers per hour, going into a Halloween party. And as I was blind spot checking, there came the cops. Okay, this guy just had the greatest laugh as one of these little, curls just smacked around my face. Anyways, it's just a little side story. Anyways, back to karma. Each incarnation is sustained by its karma. So karma is then stored in this causal body space. So when reincarnation occurs, it's basically going to help to identify, to clear way for the astral and then for the physical body to form. And this separation from the oneness causes disturbances within the mind and the astral plane. So then these disturbances, you guys, in the astral body, or in other words, your emotional body, it's like a karma generating situation manifests first in the emotional body. So it's like a trickle down, right? You're bringing this template with you, then that will form the emotional or astral body around you with determinative factors, tendencies that you have caused and then affected into this field. And then these disturbances in the mind, in the energetic field around us, comes through via prana and what we call also tejas and ojas, but I will talk about those in another video for you guys. But eventually, and then all of these disturbances then enter the physical body and then will show up as vata, pitta, and kapha, which I have spoken about in previous videos for you guys before. And so what I just would like you guys to take away from this video today, that all of this connect, that there is an integrated system here, that you have the power to even affect your next life by choosing certain ways of being and causing and affecting your energetic field in a way where then those information will be stored in the karma body that then will follow you to the next life. And then you can actually clear out things from there. If you're aware and if you're conscious, so you cultivate awareness, which is another thing I help my clients in this space to do, and cultivation of frequency and cultivation of awareness is exactly just like cultivating peppers and tomatoes. You need the right seed, you need preferably an heirloom seed, you need beautiful soil, you need beautiful minerals in that soil, you need the climate, the sun, and so on and forth for that produce to grow. The same way that there are particular elements with which you can cultivate frequency and you can cultivate awareness, so that if you're aware of something, then you can self-realize and manifest and alter, if you will, cause and effect in your biofield. Therefore, you can make a difference, not just for your current time and space continuum and for your current life in this physical vessel, but for your future reincarnation, your future lives, and therefore keeping that enlightenment in mind, you then can consciously, I don't want to say modify, but work with this field as a live biofield, a biospiritual, creation of the oneness to experience life. It needs to separate. So that is the reason for these. I hope that this summarized somewhat, or that I have made some sense for you guys out of the word karma, and that I assure you that there's nothing to fear and worry about, and that if we know, because we know our innate intelligence and field tells us inside our guts, so to speak, whether we've done right or wrong, and how can we make it, how can we correct and course correct, and we can all course correct. So I would let you guys go today by saying have a happy Halloween, celebrate your loved ones, your ancestors, the messages you've learned from them. Think of them. Think of what you've brought into your field, what they have done for you so that you are you. And so what have you gotten from them that you can mold further for future generations? It was Orshi here, your Ayurvedic health counselor. Connect with me, subscribe, follow, like, all of that helps the algorithms so I can get these messages across the globe to as many beautiful human beings as possible for healing purposes. Thank you so much for being here. Check out my Facebook page where I also post a lot of content, a lot of other stuff that relates to some of my videos, all about energy, frequency, ancestral, generational, trauma, clearance, lineage, how we transfer this information, elemental knowledge, the 5 element theories, self-awareness, self-realization, and to be able to find your best life ever. And so thank you so much for being here. Have fun tonight. Dress up if you are celebrating Halloween, and enjoy lighting your candles and thinking of your ancestors if that is what you're celebrating. Like in my home country, I wish I could be there with you guys on November the 1st. Namaste. Love you all. Ciao.